Hello and welcome back to Daily English Talk. My name is Lucas.
And I'm Emily. We're so happy you could join us today.
We really are. So, Emily, what's on the agenda for today's episode?
Today, we're going to tackle a topic that is super important for every English learner: how to talk about yourself.
Oh, that's a great one. It sounds simple, but it can be tricky, right? You meet someone new and they ask, "So, tell me about yourself," and your mind just goes blank.
Exactly. It happens to everyone. So our goal today is to give you some simple phrases and ideas so you feel more confident the next time you need to introduce yourself.
Sounds like a plan. Where should we start?
Let's start with the basics. The first question people often ask is, where are you from? So, Lucas, where are you from?
Great question. I'm from California. I grew up in a small town near Los Angeles. What about you, Emily?
I'm originally from Chicago. I lived there for most of my life, but I moved to New York a few years ago for work.
Right, so those are some great phrases listeners can use. You can say, I'm from, and then your city or country, or like you said, I'm originally from, if you don't live there now.
And I grew up in is another good one. It tells people about your childhood. So you can say, I grew up in Brazil, but now I live in Canada.
Perfect. It gives a little more detail. Okay, so after where are you from, what's next? Usually it's about work.
Yeah, what do you do? That's the common question. It means, what is your job?
Right, so Emily, what do you do?
Well, besides being a podcast host, I'm a graphic designer. I work for a small marketing company.
That's so cool. I've always been terrible at art. For me, I'm a teacher. I teach English online to students from all over the world.
That's awesome. So for our listeners, you can say, I'm a, and then your job title, like I'm a doctor or I'm a student.
Yep. Or you can say, I work in, and then the industry. For example, I work in technology, or I work in healthcare.
That's a good one too. It's a bit more general if you don't want to give your exact job title. Okay, so we've covered where you're from and what you do. What's next for getting to know someone?
I think hobbies are a great next step. You know, what you like to do for fun. It really shows your personality.
I agree completely. So you might ask someone, what do you do in your free time? Or do you have any hobbies?
Okay, I'll ask you then, Emily. What do you like to do for fun?
In my free time, I'm really into hiking. I love being outdoors in nature. On the weekends, I try to find a new trail to explore.
Oh, nice. That sounds so relaxing. Are there good hiking spots near New York?
There are actually. You have to drive a little bit outside the city, but it's worth it. Besides hiking, I also love reading. I'm a big fan of mystery novels.
A mystery fan, huh? Very cool. So what about me? What are my hobbies?
I don't know, Lucas. You tell me. What are your hobbies?
Well, I really enjoy playing the guitar. I'm not very good, but it's a fun way to relax. I've been playing since I was a teenager.
That's amazing. I wish I could play an instrument. What kind of music do you like to play?
Mostly rock and blues stuff, just simple songs. And another thing I'm into is cooking. I love trying new recipes on the weekend.
Okay, so let's break that down for our listeners. We used some great phrases there. I said, I'm really into hiking. To be into something is a very natural way to say you like it a lot.
Right, and I said I really enjoy playing the guitar. Enjoy is a great simple verb to use. You can also say I like or I love.
I also said, I'm a big fan of mystery novels. That's another way to express a strong interest in something.
Totally. So you can talk about sports, music, movies, anything. Just say, I'm a big fan of the Lakers, or I'm a big fan of Taylor Swift.
Perfect. And notice how we asked follow-up questions? When you said you like hiking, I asked where you go. That's so important for a good conversation.
Yes, it shows you're listening and you're interested. It's not just a list of facts. It's a real conversation.
Okay, so we have hometown, job, and hobbies. The person is starting to get a good picture of who we are. What about family?
That's a good one. It can be a little personal, so maybe don't ask it right away, but with new friends, it's a normal topic. You could ask, do you have any brothers or sisters? Or more broadly, tell me about your family.
Okay, so Lucas, do you have any siblings?
I don't, actually. I'm an only child.
Oh, really? What was that like?
It was fine. I had a lot of cousins, so I was never lonely. My cousins are like my brothers and sisters. What about you, Emily?
I have one older brother. He's 3 years older than me. We're very different, but we get along really well.
That's great. So the key phrases here are pretty simple. I'm an only child, or I have one brother, or I have two sisters.
Right. You can also say, I come from a big family or I come from a small family. For example, I have 3 brothers and 2 sisters, so I come from a really big family.
That definitely qualifies as a big family. Yeah. Okay, this is great. We've built a really solid foundation for a first conversation.
I think so too. To make it even more personal, we could talk about general likes and dislikes, things like food, music, or movies.
Yes, that's the fun stuff. Let's start with food. Everyone loves food. Emily, what's your favorite kind of food?
That's a tough question, but if I have to choose, I'd say Italian food. I just love pasta and pizza. I could eat it every day.
A classic choice. Can't go wrong with Italian. What about you? What's your favorite?
You go first.
Okay. For me, it's definitely Mexican food. I love everything spicy. Tacos, burritos, all of it.
Nice. So we can also talk about things we don't like. For example, is there any food you can't stand?
Ooh, good question. Can't stand is a strong phrase. It means you really, really dislike it. For me, I'm not a big fan of olives. The taste is just too strong for me.
I get that. I'm not a big fan of is a polite way to say you don't like something. For me, I can't stand really bitter things like black coffee. I need lots of milk and sugar.
More for me then. I love black coffee. Okay, how about movies? What kind of movies do you like?
I really like dramas and documentaries. I enjoy movies that make me think or teach me something new. I'm not a big fan of horror movies, though. They're too scary for me.
We're complete opposites. I love horror movies, but my favorite genres are probably comedy and science fiction. I love to laugh, and I love movies that have cool special effects and imagine the future.
That's so funny. It just shows that everyone has different tastes, and that's what makes conversation interesting.
Exactly. So, to recap the phrases, you can say, my favorite is, so my favorite food is pizza. You can also use I love, I really like, or I enjoy.
And for dislikes, you can say I don't like, or the softer version, I'm not a big fan of, and if you feel very strongly, I can't stand.
You know, Emily, we've covered so many great topics for our first conversation, but I feel like we're missing something that can really show a person's adventurous side. Let's talk about travel. It's a topic that almost everyone has an opinion on, even if they haven't been all over the world.
An excellent idea. Travel is a fantastic topic for conversation. It reveals so much about a person's spirit of adventure and what captures their imagination.
This has been incredibly useful. I think our listeners now have a full toolkit for talking about themselves.
I agree. We've covered the key areas: where you're from, your job, your hobbies, your family, and your likes and dislikes. If you can talk about these 5 things, you can have a great conversation with anyone.
The biggest piece of advice is just to practice. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. The more you talk, the easier it gets.
That's the absolute truth. And remember to be a good listener too. Ask questions, show interest, and have fun with it.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. We hope you found this episode helpful.
Thanks so much for tuning in to Daily English Talk. We'll be back next week with a new topic to help you on your English learning journey.
Until then, keep practicing. Bye, everyone.
Bye.